My mother is dead. I'm never going to see her again.
We'll find out what happened.
But it won't bring her back.
Lark, did your mother have any physical disabilities that might bring on sudden death? Allergies, heart problems, stuff like that?
No, not that I know of. The last time I saw her, she was fine.
Come on, Garcia, lay off the questions. The kid just lost her mother.
Frank, I know this is difficult for her, but her cooperation can help us figure this out quickly. Now, Lark, you saw your mother 2 days ago and you two had a fight, correct?
Who told you that?
The orderly who broke it up. Your mom said, "Get her away from me, she's trying to kill me." Is that true?
One of my earliest memories is of her accusing me of putting broken glass in her food. My mother is sick. But I loved her. I don't know why she was fixated on the idea I was trying to hurt her.
Because people who suffer from delusions usually incorporate those close to them. Believe it or not, it doesn't mean she didn't care.
So basically what the orderly overheard between you and your mother is true.
Garcia, don't you have a heart? Get this weight.
Frank, please. If a crime's been committed, unfortunately, this is the best way to help Lark.
How did you two get here anyway?
My father was admitted yesterday.
Why?
Because he went off his medication. I brought him here to get his levels back to normal.
How far gone is he?
I didn't go anywhere. The ship hasn't come yet.
Oh, my.
Obviously pretty far gone. He didn't have anything to do with this.
Hey, Kevin, don't mind the questions. A crime has been committed. This is the best way to help him.
Come on, Victor, let's get you back to your room. Go back to your normal self.
Bunker, what do you think happened to that poor woman? I came here to investigate her, and now she's dead. Do you think she was murdered?
It stands to reason. She's still the person who bought the voice activator. Did you hear anything?
No, I just heard Lark screaming.
No, I mean in your earpiece. Did you pick up anything from the bug we left in Suzanne's room? What?
I lost the earpiece.
Victor!
I know I put it in my pocket before we went into Suzanne's room to plant the bug. Must have fallen out when we were bobbing in and out of hiding.
All right, water under the bridge. Maybe something was picked up by the recording device that I set up in your room.
With any luck, we might have caught the murderer in the act.
Let's go.
I'm sorry I'm late. Thanks for covering
That's
for me.
quite all right. Listen, what good is a fiancé if you can't cover for you, right? How was Serena?
Actually, she's doing a little bit better. She showed me the sound-based beanbag toss that Scott made for her. She was laughing. I hated to leave her.
Listen, I know she is going to pull through this, Karen. I know it.
I know. I hope so. How is Julie? Did we hear any more news about her trial?
No, I just know that opening statements are finished. That's it.
Oh, I wish we could be there to support her. This is so unfair. I bet the real killer right now is just laughing his head off because she's being tried for his...
Sweetheart, she may be convicted for this. I mean, the police do have a pretty strong case against her.
You have your doubts about her innocence, don't you?
No, not necessarily. But you know what? Karen, it's up for the jury to decide.
When I saw Julie, she said Lee is basing his defense on the fact that there's other evidence incriminating another suspect.
Who would he possibly accuse?
She didn't say. But my guess is Lark.
Hey, are you guys talking about the trial? I saw a glimpse of the courthouse on the morning news.
Listen, whatever the truth is, I'm sure it'll come out. So, how's Neil?
Well, he's happy, but tired, so I have him tucked in bed with some new Star Wars action figures.
I don't have to go by and check out his new gear.
Yeah, you'd like that, Joe.
I actually mean for me to see what he got. I'm curious.
Okay.
See you later. Bye.
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 I don't know who's a bigger kid, Joe or Neil.
Yeah, I really love watching those two together. Joe's going to be such a great dad. When you guys decide to have kids one day.
Yeah, I think so too.
You look tired, Karen. You must be worried about Julie, huh?
I wouldn't be a good friend if I wasn't.
Yeah, I bet you wish you could be at the courthouse with her.
Yeah, but since I can't be, I guess the best thing to do is just make sure her patients are taken care of.
Yeah. You know, I'll be really sorry if it turns out that Julie's guilty. But at least this whole nightmare will be over. A lot of people are afraid to walk around here alone, Karen. Even those that aren't in the book.
I'd advise you to be really careful, Courtney. Julie did not do it, so that means the real killer is out there somewhere.
You're really certain that she's not the killer?
Certain enough to have asked her to be my maid of honor.
Wow. So you guys set a date, right?
No, not yet, but we will soon. I'm learning that life can be really unpredictable.
Well, hey, listen to your events coordinator, me, I hope. and do yourself the biggest favor of all by having an indoor wedding. Believe me, it will save you tons of nights staying up wondering what happens if it rains on my big day.
You know, thank you so much, but I'm just not in the mood for planning right now.
Of course. I'm sorry. We're never carrying it.
You know, but you were right about one thing. Mary, she's a tough nut to crack.
What are you talking about? I thought she had welcomed you into the family. I mean, you're wearing her mother's ring.
Yeah, well, it turns out she didn't know that Joe had given it to me.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, no. Mary must have hit the ceiling.
She took it rather well, considering.
Yeah. Well, I see your knuckles still intact, so she must be dealing with it, right?
Well, it was Joe's to give. I think everything was going to settle down. Eventually.
Yeah. I'm sure you're right, Karen. But, watch your back. Take it from someone who knows. Your future mother-in-law, she's usually up to something.
Dr. Ramirez to the pharmacy. Dr. Oscar Ramirez to the pharmacy.
Lark is still a minor. If you want to speak to her, you have to go through me first, and I say leave her alone.
Why are you so intent on protecting her, Frank? You know something I don't?
All she has is me. In case you forgot, her mother just died. I won't let you push her around.
That kid had a physical altercation with dear old Mom 2 days ago.
Her mom hit her, not the other way around.
And what'd she do about it?
Nothing. She made up with her mom earlier today.
Uh-huh. The orderly who overheard the conversation also heard Lark tell her mother that she wasn't ever going to let her hurt her again.
That is completely out of context, and you know it, Garcia. Lark didn't even want to go near her mother. I had to drag her down here today. Where is your proof that Lark, or anyone else for that matter, had a hand in Suzanne's death? For all you know, she died of natural causes.
I wouldn't bet on it. Suzanne was going to be Julie's star witness. She was going to testify that she bought the voice activator for her daughter. Lark had every reason to want to shut her mother up.
Suzanne made that statement when she was off her medication. The reason I called you down here today is because she was starting to remember the way things really happened.
And what were her sudden recollections?
She told us that Lark was not the person who told her to buy the voice activator.
Really? Who was it then?
Someone taller with shorter hair.
Male or female?
She didn't know.
That's a lot of help. Frank, haven't you ever heard of lying with detail? It's a lot more convincing.
I am not lying, Garcia. This is the truth.
Unfortunately, the only person that can back you up on that is Lark's mother. And she's dead.
Okay, let's see what this has to say.
The sounds of silence. Not very helpful.
Let's fast forward.
I even remember meeting the person who asked me to purchase it. Who was it? I'm not sure. In my head, the person is or her in outline, but without a face. The person is definitely taller than you, Lark, and has much shorter hair.
But you do realize it wasn't me, right?
No way it was you. I'm positive of that.
Well, at least it's good news for Lark. Let's see what else is on here.
Were you able to plant a bug in Greg Cooper's room?
No, I wasn't. I was trying to look for a chance to do that when the commotion broke out over Suzanne.
Only I'd been able to work more quickly. I might have been able to save that poor woman.
Now, we don't know for sure that she was murdered. And even if she was, we don't know that the general homicide killer did it. Besides, I never made a reference to anyone even like Suzanne in my book.
Well, maybe he's rewriting the book. But besides, in reality, Suzanne was very connected to all of this. She was the one who bought the voice activator.
Someone's coming.
Alpha rays all over. In my head, I need to shade my eyes.
Oh, here, take my glasses, try that.
Glasses to shade my... Oh.
Hi.
Time for your father's medication.
Oh, yes, of course. Do you mind if I check the dosages? Thank you. Good thing I'm also a doctor. Everything seems to be in order. That's right. All right, Victor, go ahead. Time for your meds.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mary. Hi. Are you the nurse on duty?
I am. Is there something I can do for you?
No, for Neil, actually. He's not feeling very well, and he could use something to settle his stomach.
Oh, poor kid. Have you tried crackers, or does he need something stronger?
Oh, he's had about enough chemicals to last him a lifetime. Let's try crackers, okay?
Mm-hmm. You know what? I think we might have some stashed under here. You know, I was walking by his room this morning, and there he was with Joe having a Star Wars space fight. Joe is so impressed with your son.
Well, the feeling's mutual. Neil misses having a dad in his life. Actually, I was just telling Karen what a great father Joe will make one day. I bet you can't wait to be a grandmother, can you?
Oh, yes, I can.
Come on, Mary. No, you're just saying that, right?
Well, you're sort of rushing things, aren't you? They're not even married yet.
No, not yet, but from what Karen says, wedding plans are falling into place. She's even asked Julie Devlin to be her maid of honor.
Really?
What, she didn't tell you?
Well, you know, mothers-in-law are usually the last to know.
You've known Karen since she was a little girl. You have to be glad that Joe's marrying someone like her and not like me. They're just perfect together, don't you think?
They are a happy couple. Well, no crackers here. I'll go get some from the lounge.
Thank you, Mary. Mm-hmm. Oh, Karen. Hey, Neil was just asking for you. He has this wicked card trick he wants to show you. He's also not feeling very well, so maybe if you have some time, you can stop in on him later and make sure everything's okay.
Okay, I'll check in on him in a minute. I just got to write this note for the head nurse on duty. This patient's got to be prepped for surgery. I got one more thing I got to do, and then I'll check in on Neil.
Thanks. You're the best, Karen. Bye. Bye.
I remember the night I lost my dad. The phone rang and woke us all up. We knew, by the way, my mom rushed down to the hospital. Something was wrong. It was like a horrible, horrible dream, only we didn't get to wake up. What's on your hand?
A pair of baby booties. My mother's doctor just gave them to me. My mom had him in her room. I guess they were mine.
She loved you, Lark.
Then why did she always hurt me?
She was sick. She didn't know what she was doing.
How could you not know that was wrong?
Because her brain chemistry was screwed up. I know that sounds overly simple, but that's all it was. It doesn't mean she didn't love you. When you came in here today, I was watching her, and her face lit up, and she was happy to see you. Now, that's real. You remember that?
She was the only mom I had. I wouldn't kill her, Frank.
I don't think you did.
Well, Garcia does.
Maybe this was another setup, the way someone made it look like you were visiting Greg Cooper.
Who would kill my mother and frame me for it?
The same person who did it to Julie. Why don't we go take a look at the visitor registration book and see if anyone signed in with your name during the supposed visit to Cooper? I think the best thing that you can do for your mother right now is to try to figure this out.
Get it done now.
Garcia.
Kevin.
I have a present for you.
Will it self-destruct in 30 seconds?
No. It's a recording of what went on in Suzanne's room before she died. It doesn't show how Suzanne was killed, but there is some important information on it.
My listening device is in my other shoe. You want to give me the condensed version?
Suzanne admits to Lark and Frank that she didn't buy the voice activator for Lark.
Okay, Kevin, how did you get this?
Victor and I planted a bug in Suzanne's room.
That's illegal, and you know it.
Before you cite chapter and verse, just let me explain. I know it's outside the law, but I had to do something. And besides, I'm not as hampered by procedure as you are.
Victor isn't really sick, is he?
No. We got him admitted here to see if he could find out something about Suzanne and Cooper.
This tape is inadmissible in a court of law.
But at least you know now that Lark wasn't involved in buying the voice activator.
I hold my father out of here, though. This place could be dangerous for him.
I'm way ahead of him. Victor's trip into undercover work is over.
I don't understand this. I left specific instructions for this patient to be prepped for surgery, and he is still in his room. The OR is on standby.
That's when he screwed up big time. I mean, that is really, really unprofessional.
Not to mention incompetent. Mary, who's the nurse on duty?
I am. Why, what's the problem?
Oh, Mary, sorry. I left instructions for Mr. Buckley to be prepped for surgery, and he's still in his room.
Oh, no. You didn't leave any instructions with me.
Actually, I did. I left a note on his chart right here on the counter.
Sometimes doctors get distracted, such as first-year residents who have lots of other things on their minds, like wedding planning.
I wasn't remiss in my duty.
Nor was I.
I didn't say you were.
Karen, next time if it's so important, I suggest that you speak to the head nurse in person. This isn't a grade school. Passing notes doesn't cut it.
Excuse me, Nurse Scanlon, please. Over here.
I have to prep a patient.
I understand that. You also have an apology to make, Mother. You know, if that was any other doctor, you wouldn't be scolding her. Instead, you would be making an apology for making an oversight like you did.
Oh, is that right? Well, for your information, there is not one doctor in this hospital that intimidates me, and that includes my hotshot resident son.
Oh. Someone's got their Irish up. What happened, Karen? Mary strikes again.
You have my sympathies.
My eyes are all blurry from all the names.
We have got to keep looking. Your name has to be here somewhere. Someone posed as you and visited Gray Cooper. Hey, right here, last week, Lark Madison.
Let me see. That's not my handwriting. No way.
I know. So, whose is it?
Victor. Come on, I'm afraid the jig is up. We're leaving.
Turn out the light. Put out the light.
Drop the act. We're going home.
It hurts.
Ha ha. Very funny. Okay, the Oscar goes to Victor Collins. In the meantime, it's not safe here. Come on, let's leave. Victor, I'd like to sign you out now. This isn't funny.
Life hurts.
Victor? Victor? Victor, what's wrong? Victor? Victor! Victor!
This is Kevin Newman. Tomorrow, complete coverage of the aftermath of Hurricane Bonnie. Plus, how to dress your man before he goes out the door. And Marissa Tomei tomorrow on Good Morning America.